2023 is coming to a close and MPs have largely departed Ottawa. The Conservatives head into the winter break with a healthy lead in the polls. The Liberals trail in second spot and in third, the New Democrats.
We don't agree with the Liberals' divisive tactics. We don't agree with the climate denial of the Conservatives. We have our own path.
We've seen 8 years of this Liberal government not really take this seriously. They haven't addressed this problem.
The agreement gives us the ability to negotiate and force this government to do more. Unlike the Conservatives, whose goal is just to force an election, our goal is to force this government to work for people.
Pierre Poilievre claims that everything in this country is broken. On the other hand, Justin Trudeau wants you to think that everything is fine. He thinks that paying $40 for chicken is fine. It's not fine. It's not normal. Can New Democrats deliver real programs that make people's lives better? The answer is now yes. We can take that to Canadians. We can deliver. We can make things happen that give people a break.
The NDP is approaching 2 years of a supply and confidence agreement with the governing Liberals. This despite one of the key promises in that deal, pharmacare legislation, being delayed until at least March. Jagmeet Singh is the leader of the federal New Democratic Party, and he joins me now from Toronto. Mr. Singh, first off, congratulations on the new arrival. They're in your arms, your baby girl. I hope mom and baby are doing great.
Everyone's doing great. Everyone's doing great. We're really excited to have this wonderful new addition to the family. And I, like many other parents, are balancing some childcare duties today. So thanks for accommodating.
Not a problem. So the big personal news for you is right there. The professional news is that you and the Liberals, your party and the Liberals, have agreed to delay the implementation of the pharmacare promise to March, supposed to be in place by the end of this year. Why have you agreed to do that when it was such an important issue for your party?
It remains very important for us. We were at a very strong difference of opinion between New Democrats, between myself and Prime Minister Trudeau and the Liberals. We believed in a program that works for people, for families, to bring down the cost of medication. And the Liberals and Justin Trudeau were more focused on appeasing the big pharmaceutical industries and the insurance companies. So we had that difference of opinion. We've had some constructive conversations, and we feel confident we can get to a better place, but we needed more time. And so that's why we agreed to push for the date.
How can both of those things be true, that you're having productive conversations but the Liberals are intent on appeasing big pharma?
Well, that was the initial problem, and we made that very clear that that's not going to fly. So we said no to the first draft, and they took it very clearly. They took back our feedback very clearly that we needed to see something that was in line with our principle, frankly, the government's own commission report, that we want to make sure people can afford their medication. Lots of people in our country are struggling with the cost of everything being more expensive. And for those that need medication on a regular basis, it is quite expensive. Canada is the third most expensive in the world. And so we made that very clear, and that feedback was received. And that's why we've now agreed to an extension, because they've understood that we're not going to accept an approach that favors the big pharmaceuticals or the big insurance companies. We want an approach that makes sure families, that workers, that people can get medication that they need.
So what if there is no agreement by March, sir? What happens then? Because I know at your party convention in Hamilton, the universal pharmacare was the red line for the members of your party in terms of the supply and confidence agreement with the federal Liberals. So how hard of a deadline and how much of a red line is March in this situation?
We've made our position really clear, and our party members gave us a strong position from which we can work on. That we want to see a program that's there for people, not one that benefits
it's okay.
The big industry.
All right. Just keep going. We lots of working parents have to deal with kids, so you know, how hard of a deadline is March now, sir?
So we made it very clear that that's what we're expecting. We expect that March is the date that we want to see. By that date, we want to see a program that we can move forward on, the one that respects our values, that is there for families, that's there for workers. And so we've made that very clear that the reason we agreed to the extension is to get to a spot that we can agree to.
You've seen the fall economic statement from the finance minister and the economic projections for at least the next 2 years. It's low growth, it's higher debt servicing costs. There's an inability to get deficits down in a truly meaningful way, and that's without any new spending. I mean, what if, Mr. Singh, we just get to the point that there's not enough fiscal room there for universal pharmacare?
We understand the importance of being sure that we are cautious and we are very responsible with our financial situation. So we understand that. there are ways to work within that framework to deliver what we believe is the right way to move forward. And we're talking about legislation that sets a framework so that we can actually move forward on universal pharmacare. And we are confident we can achieve that with the important value of respecting our financial circumstances. That can be achieved.
Politically, this is one of the key components of the supply and confidence agreement, and the intention of this is that it would last until 2025, when the next election has to be held. How confident are you right now with this delay? I know dental has been delivered more or less and is rolling out this year. How confident are you that this arrangement with the Liberals will run the full course?
Well, we look at the dental care as an example of the success of what we've been able to achieve. While the Liberals are shown to be very out of touch, not connecting with the concerns that people are going through, and voted against having dental care in the first place, we were able to drive this forward. And it's going to mean a life-changing option for millions of people. For seniors in our country, they're going to be able to get their teeth looked after. I've spoken with lots of seniors. I know what that would mean to them. I spoke to Brianna, a mom of 5 kids. Each one of her 5 kids got to see the dentist for the first time because we forced this government to deliver for people. So that is exactly why we got into this. Why I'm a New Democrat is to try to get results for people and use the power we have to force government to work for people. And having seen the government up close, it's really redoubled my desire to become prime minister. We could do so much more to make people's lives better.
Right, but so you've gotten progress on dental to the point where it will be implemented over the course of 2024, but there's still the delay on pharma, and that, if that is the red line, I mean, are you confident that where things left off before Parliament rose for the Christmas break, that you're on a track where you can deliver something on pharma by March that allows this deal to stay in place for its duration?
That's the understanding that we have, and that's why we agreed to the extension that we want to get to a point by March where we can move forward to something that we can agree to. So far, we've said no to the government. We made it very clear we do not accept their approach. They've heard that, and that's why this extension is in place, to get to a place that we can agree.
Do you think this agreement, now that we're a fair chunk of time into it, has been politically beneficial for New Democrats or for the Liberals? If you look at where public opinion polling went throughout the course of the year, the New Democrats have really the Conservatives, have really surged out to a big lead. If an election were held today, arguably a Conservative majority is in place. And that seems precisely the sort of outcome that this arrangement was supposed to stop. So do you think it has worked politically for New Democrats and Liberals, given the changes in the political mood of the country?
I know this is something that's probably hard for folks to understand, given the normal liberal conservative frameworks where the only goal is the pursuit of power. For New Democrats, we want to get things done that make people's lives better. That's why I became a leader. I remember what it was like when I was struggling, taking care of my kid brother, when I was in university, making sure that my kid brother had food on the table, when my dad was struggling with an addiction. I remember what it was like to get a little support from some of my brother's friends' parents who would send food home back, and how much difference that made in our lives. I got in this line of work to make a difference in people's lives, and we've achieved that. The fact that I can look at Brianna and her 5 kids and see the smiles on their face because they were able to get their teeth looked after, the pain that they used to have was dealt with, that is the reward for New Democrats. And it's hard to understand that in the context of Liberals and Conservatives who are purely focused on power. We know that Pierre Poilievre is not interested in actually helping people. He's interested in power. He voted against the dental care program, despite himself having free dental care or dental care paid for by the public since most of his adult life. So we differ with the Conservatives. We're in it for power and not in it for people. We differ from the Liberals who are out of touch. We want to use our power to make sure people get some support in this difficult time.
No, and I can appreciate your motivation to get things done, but the hope is that they don't then get undone in the next election cycle. And if Mr. Poilievre and his Conservatives do form government, as polling would suggest now, then many of the fruits of your labor in this are subject to a change of direction, a change of policy priority because of the change in government, and maybe they get cut. So this needs to work politically for you as well, not just from a policy perspective, does it not?
We'll make that case to Canadians once they start seeing the benefit, once seniors are able to get their teeth looked after, once more and more kids are able to go to the dentist, once families see the benefit this has in their lives, we'll put that to Canadians that, listen, we fought hard for you. The Conservatives are making no surprise about this or not hiding this. They're going to cut and gut the services that you rely on. They're not going to make things better. They're going to cut dental care. They voted against the school lunch program. which only benefits kids and make sure they have food at school. The fact that they would vote against that shows how callous they are. We'll put that to Canadians. We'll make sure they know that Pierre Poilievre is not who he says he is. He is going to make things harder for you. He's going to cut the things that you care about, and that the Liberals are not the solution either. They've shown that they're out of touch, and we've shown that we can deliver. And we'll put that case to Canadians. But in terms of why we were able to use our power or why we made that decision, it was to make people's lives better, and we're proud of that. And then we'll put that choice to Canadians, and hopefully they choose not to go down the path of the Conservatives cutting and gutting.
And that argument you will make to Canadians, the case you will put to Canadians, is your intention to do that in 2025, or do you think we could see something in 2024, sir?
Well, our plan is to continue to use the power we have to deliver. That's going to be our motivating principle, and we'll use that to make assessments throughout the next phase of this agreement. That can we continue to use our power to deliver for Canadians? That will be the metric on which we make our next decisions.
Federal NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh and his new baby. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much.